I'm Osama Heggi. I'm the Chief Information Security Officer for EFG Holding. We are essentially an investment bank, but we have lots of other businesses beside the investment banking, like non-banking financial institutions that provide mortgages, buy now, pay later services, and so on. We are essentially Egypt's biggest investment bank, and we are operating as well in the Gulf, in Saudi Arabia, in United Arab Emirates, and in Kuwait. Our ranking varies in these countries, but usually we are playing somewhere between the first and the third, in some cases, first, second, third. We're providing a diverse portfolio of financial services. As I explained, we are an investment bank. We do brokerage. Some of our non-banking financial institutions as well operate outside Egypt, and we are providing this multitude of services in the Gulf region and in some African countries as well, like Kenya and Nigeria. Our vision for IT or information technology security in EFG Holding divides the IT stack into 7 layers. We have essentially the data, it needs to be secured. We have the identity and access that gives you access to that data, has to be secured. And then there is the application where you log in using your identity. There is the endpoint, the computer itself. And then there is the network, it needs to be secured. There is the cloud as well. It's an integral part nowadays of our infrastructure. And finally, there is what we call the operational technology security, which is the security of non-IT devices like ATMs, point of sales machines, and stuff like that. Identity security stands among all of these 7 components as one of the core recent pain points. Why? Not out of being lazy, but out of being effective. Hackers nowadays choose to log in rather than hack in. If he has the password to a highly privileged account, why would he bother hacking? He already has the access, he already has the account, and it's a high privilege account. That kind of problem, that kind of a security issue cannot be detected using the existing controls. The existing controls trusts you the moment you authenticate. You're logged in with your username and password. You're not a threat. You could be, because you're not the real owner of the username and the password, but to most of network, endpoint, application, data security controls, they cannot tell the difference between someone who stole an account and the actual owner of the account. That's where identity security comes. It's a big pain. We've been trying to sort it out, and this is where we decided to go to BeyondTrust to help us sort out this issue. It's not just about the hacking. The hackers themselves, they prefer to log in instead of hack in. It's as well about storing our secrets and managing our high privileged accounts. By high privileged accounts, we mean system users that has more privilege than normal users. These needs to be secured, because if their accounts are stolen, it's a disaster for the corporates. And as well, we need to safeguard the technical secrets like sensitive passwords properly. This is where actually the PAM, the Privileged Account Management Solution of BeyondTrust, came in and sorted out most of these pains. So how did BeyondTrust help us in this? It all started with storing sensitive passwords in the password safe, the vault of the PAM. How does that help? Essentially, the vault starts randomizing the passwords. If I know the account, which password is known to me, I cannot use it anymore because I don't know the password anymore. And I have to connect through the PAM, which will give me a password to be able to connect and use this account. So let's say I left my company. and I'm actually one of the users of a high privileged account. Is that a risk for the company? Not anymore, because the password keeps being randomized every 5-10 minutes. We set the periodicity for this. So what's the essential value that has been added just in the very beginning? We are in less risk because of people who actually use it to control high privileged accounts leaving the company. It happens, they get better offers elsewhere, but they don't manage to take their access with them anymore. So yeah, that's one problem solved. In most of the high privileged accounts, a high privileged account by default can do anything. And that's not something you can control if you rely on the application that contain the account itself. But using the PAM now, we can control what the high privileged accounts can do and cannot do. Because people doesn't access the application directly, they access them through the PAM. That was the second added value. And the third added value is that we are now able to remove any secrets from our development. It's called CI/CD pipeline. And every time the application wants one of these secrets, a password, anything like that, it asks the PAM and it responds with it. So there is nothing hard-coded really in the application. A hacker on the internet dismantling or reverse engineering our mobile agents will not find any passwords in it. That has been quite actually fruitful, and it raised the bar for us in terms of security. We trust BeyondTrust. I'm talking here on behalf of EFG Holding and its security team.